All right, so another part of winterization is we bought these little ramps for the tires. We've got 4 of them. Drive the camper up on top of it, and it separates it from the rock to help kind of prolong the life of them. Alright guys, so we know I use the high-tech yellow wax on the nose during storage. I do this only once a year. I don't do it all the time, only once a year. I always put this on the nose, and the gel coating on the sides, I use the Turtle Wax Ice Seal and Shine. It's a hybrid wax, a spray-on wax. This is pretty simple stuff. You know, you just wash the camper down, dry it up real good, and then you shake this well, spray it on in small sections, and wipe it down completely with a microfiber towel. You don't want to spray this stuff over the entire camper and then try to go back and wipe it down. You don't want this stuff drying up without wiping it down. If you do, I'm assuming you're going to get a lot of spots. So this once a year, this I'll use on the nose about twice a year, and on the rest of the camper twice a year, and then when I store it once a year as well. I also use this on the black, all the black around the camper, and I do that because you get a lot of campers that get the black residue that runs down. 9 times out of 10, it's usually these rubber seals up here. So what I try to do is at least keep that waxed once a year, and that eliminates it from getting black streaks on it. We'll knock this out for the rest of the camper and move on with the rest. Alright guys, so we'll finish continuing putting the conditioner on the rubber pieces around the camper, around all the slides. Also, I'll take the lube and protectant and go ahead and spray all my tracks and spray the gears where the tracks go in. So we'll knock that out and go on to the next. Alright guys, another thing on breaking the camper down, what I do is I like to clean the tops of the slides before I close them all in, and go ahead and lubricate all the seals just to make sure everything's good to go before I shut this thing down. A lot of things I'll do is I'll use like a quick wash and clean the tops of the slides with. This is some stuff I had from Harley Davidson for my bike. I'll just spray it on and kind of wipe it down, just kind of get all the dust and dirt off the top of it. And then what I'll use is a Camco rubber sealer conditioner. I'll spray that on the seals and wipe those down, get those cleaned up. And then what I like to do is I like to use the Camco slide out lube. I'll use that on the bottom and on the tracks of the slides. So I'll go ahead and knock that out and get these slides ready to close. Careful when you get on these slides that you don't fall off the slides. You can step off of these things real easy. So make sure you're paying attention to what you're doing. Alright, so that's basically what I do on top of the camper for getting it ready for winter. Clean the tops of the slides, clean the seals, and lubricate all the tracks and everything. I'm gonna go ahead and finish these out, and we'll jump back onto the next. Alright, so another thing that I do on breaking these down and getting it winterized is I take all my 30-pound tanks off and store them in my garage. And basically all I'm doing is just making sure the valve's turned off, unscrew the hose off of it, and then I'll put a Ziploc bag over the hose and rubber band it, strap it down real tight so no bugs or anything like that builds anything up inside of the hose, and I don't have to worry about the hose getting contaminated. So we'll break this down right quick, pull it out, we'll set them in the garage and move on to the next. All right, we got the tank pulled, and we got the cap here. So what I'll do, I mean, there's no point in me trying to take this off. I mean, I'll just leave it on as well. All I do is just put the bag over it, get it down good and tight, and then I'll rubber band it in this area right here so it remains tight all winter. I don't have to worry about anything getting inside there and messing up the inside of that. Now I just leave it laying inside, do it on both sides. Everything, you know, I do an inspection in here, make sure I don't have any nest or anything like that that I need to take out. Everything looks great, and moving on to the next. Alright, so we picked up these wheel covers on Amazon. You can pick them up at any RV store or Amazon or whatever. Just make sure you measure your tire and get the right cover. Alright, so I store my 230 pounds in the garage through the winter. I don't have to worry about it being outside and having to deal with it out there. I do make a note on here, like this one here says use first. So this one here, I just got this one filled up. This is the other one. It says it's full, and it probably is, but it's more gas full. This is what we got from the dealership that they filled up, and it doesn't feel like a whole lot of liquid in it. It's probably more gas full than it is liquid. So we'll use this tank up first next year and go ahead and extend this one out, and then we'll get it refilled correctly. So another part of our storing is we'll store our hoses, and our freshwater hose and sewer hose, or our black tank flush hose, and our sewer hoses, we store them in the garage as well. I do that so I don't leave them in a bucket and they collect a lot of mildew and mold growth and stuff like that through the winter. At least they'll stay a lot drier in here, and I can maintain everything in it. Another thing, we keep the Blackstone and the grill. We'll keep that in the garage too. I don't drive the dually during the winter. All I'll do is just back it up, fire it up, keep it running. But this dually is mainly for hauling the camper around. The reason why I bring these in is, number one, this is a steel plate. I don't want to leave it in the camper during the winter time to get a lot of moisture build up from the cold air, and then it start rusting the plate on it. This one here, we'll get this one cleaned up, get the grate and all cleaned up, and leave this in here as well, just for storage sake. All right, guys, that'll wrap it up for today. That's how I winterize my camper. If you have any suggestions or anything easier to do than what I've done, leave them in the comments below. I'd like to know. This is the easiest way I know to winterize my stuff. If you've got different ways that you guys winterize your stuff, I'd love to read about it. Leave them in the comments below. Thanks, guys. Stay safe and happy camping, and we'll see you again.